Here we go.
All right, here we go. Cyrus Corman-Gill with the Dark Petition Storm deck. Lots of mana in that draw, but only...
needs a new hand.
I think Cyrus might as well. I was going to say, well, just a Preordain? Do you
I love
keep...
Preordain. So I don't actually know. I'm not good enough with Storm. I've learned that if I'm playing a Xerox deck, I have to trust my cantrips.
Yeah, I think Preordain might be good enough. You can Soul Ring off the Jet. I think you
I don't know if that's correct. But I'd keep it.
He did keep it. We see Andreas doing a scry. He went down to 6, came up with a Flusterstorm and a Force of Will. That draw is great for Andreas. Yeah. And Cyrus is on the play. That's big. That means the Flusterstorm is not turned on turn 1. Force of Will is, but no way is Andreas going to know if he needs to Force of Will this Preordain.
So you'll note that Cyrus fetches first. Now, I wouldn't do that in Legacy with access to 4 Brainstorms because the shuffle is so powerful. But I guess here Cyrus decided that the deck thing...
Oh, the defense grid!
Oh, there's no way Mr. Petersen can allow that to happen, right?
Yeah, but no, you have to Force of Will. The question is whether you pitch Brainstorm or Fluster.
Oh, I like pitching Brainstorm. I mean, Flusterstorm is so good in this matchup.
Yeah, I think in this matchup you have to pitch the Brainstorm.
I never loved pitching Brainstorm.
Snapcaster could be relevant 1 mana from now.
It could be. I bet he wishes that were still in the library, though.
Preordain did not find 2 bombs. Cyrus is just drawing off the top of his deck, came up with a land. He needs to draw an enchantment is what Cyrus needs to draw. If he draws a Necropotence or a Yawgmoth's Bargain, you can't Flusterstorm those.
That's true.
He doesn't even need to cast the Ritual. Oh, there it is!
Look, you drew an enchantment.
The Skull! First appearance. And Cyrus is good enough not to Dark Ritual here.
He's also good enough to play the Mark Tadine artwork. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
No argument from me.
Remember how Necropotence is this card that it took people a while to figure out how good it was.
I'm happy about that part, yes. I may have won a Pro Tour with the card.
Exactly.
The point where other people were playing Necro, but they weren't playing all 8 Necros. You could play 8 Necros in that format, and somehow people did not put all 4 copies of Demonic Consultation in their deck. So I just had more Necros. That was helpful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now you see Cyrus. He is able to trade life for cards. He can just take 7 new cards. I suspect Andreas is going to be slamming down a sudden bear at the end of his turn. But
get your beat on with Snapcaster Mage. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
do what you got to do.
This looks very grim for Andreas.
Yeah, I mean, the game at this point, Cyrus can fizzle. I mean, the Time Walk doesn't do much. Let's basically get a land drop down. Andreas needs to just attack Cyrus's life total as quickly as possible, and Cyrus can get locked in theory if he doesn't draw gas. Like his hand doesn't. Does his hand win? I mean, the Yawgmoth's only brings back a Preordain.
No,
I don't think that hand wins.
What he's going to be able to do is duress, attack Andreas's hand, then he'll be able to Time Walk, and then if that doesn't do it, Yawgmoth's will. I don't think Andreas is getting another turn.
I agree. Cyrus should duress, Time Walk, refill with Necro, then untap, and that's when he needs to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He can even chain a Vapor his own Necropotent if he gets tired of it, so he won't even get locked.
That sounds like a losing battle against Hydra and Snapcaster.
Well, he can also block Hydra. He can bounce Hydra.
He can bounce Hydra.
I don't think it'll matter. The Time Walk's going to resolve because even if Flusterstorm were to be a consideration, Cyrus can ritual his way into more mana. He doesn't need to, but he could.
Yeah, you see Andreas thinking about whether to Flusterstorm it. And Cyrus knows there's a card left that Andreas, defended with Misstep.
So I love the play here of actually paying life with Necro and then bouncing Necro and then bouncing that Mox.
Interesting. You're going to basically sacrifice a land in order to get a draw step?
To get a draw step and to clear Andreas's possibility of being able to use that Flusterstorm, which Cyrus has to assume.
Oh, bouncing the Sapphire. I see.
Yeah, right. Oh, or he drew Grid, so.
Yeah, he did not go for the Chain of Vapor play. I like it. I think it might have been reasonable there. Especially since he wound up discarding Chain. Like, you should at least cast it in your end step.
Absolutely. It's completely free to cast it there on the end
Well,
step.
I mean, I guess his problem is Andreas is going to sack a land and bounce something, but what does Cyrus care? His stuff gets bounced at this point.
Bounce a thing, just more storm count for Cyrus.
Interestingly, Cyrus chose to discard the defense grid because duress is cheaper. Fair enough.
All right.
There's still no card drawing though. Cyrus can Yogg-Will, but he doesn't play all the draw 7s in deck because he doesn't want to refill Blue's hand, and he doesn't actually have a way to go find his tendrils.
Now that's interesting. He can Yawgmoth's Will, Time Walk,
Preordain.
Preordain.
He totally should have bounced his Necro. I think you're right. He would have got a draw step out of it.
He could put the 2 life into it if you really wanted to go to 1 and then bounce it.
Yeah. All right, this Preordain better be good. No.
Ooh,
bottom. Come up with a Lion's Eye.
Wow.
He's Necro locked. He gets to pay 2 life.
The last 2 life and then.
Is Cyrus going to lose from here? I mean, from here. I mean, lose this game from Necro on an empty board? These 2 better be good. Duress, Hercule's Recall.
Wow, Cyrus loses.
We're done. Jeez. He's dead. Wow. Echo Baronin. Andreas, a.k.a. Andreas, gets away with one there. Cyrus, he just fizzled.
He did. Well, he could have seen one more card if he'd wanted to. Or if he had chained and played a little.
Yeah, he could have seen another card by chaining his Necro rather than just exiling the chain. That's about the only thing he did wrong, though. I didn't see anything else.
So what do you think Echo Baronin means?
I always imagine it's like Baron, right? It's like some,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
European version of a high exalted royalty title.
That makes sense.
I don't know why it has Echo. I guess you just have to pay twice before you get it, maybe?
That makes more sense than anything I've thought of, so let's go with that.
Apparently, Baronin has been translated in chat as the Baron in both Danish and Swedish, so...
All right.
My guess might even be right. Probably the Echo part of
So,
Baronin certainly looked like Baron to me.
Right.
Seeds of Innocence. Love to see that in Andreas' side.
I also love Seeds of Innocence. It's such a cool card. I mean, I know I'm off camera now, but I have Seeds of Innocence right here within arm's reach. And if we were on camera, I would grab my copy of Seeds of Innocence.
Just a Mirage binder.
Yeah, I mean, I love the whole Mirage block was such a win in terms of flavor, art. Oh, it's such a great set.
Do not disagree. Format tonight, I see some conversation in chat. The way Vintage Super League is going to work this year, we've got 16 players, and every night in the regular season, 4 of them are going to show up and play 3 matches each. So tonight's show is a round robin between Andreas, Cyrus, Rich Shea, who's got in chat with me, and then Bob Maher is the 4th player tonight. 6 matches of Vintage later. Everybody will have 3 matches. They'll have whatever record they have. And then everybody plays 2 nights. So Andreas' season, Cyrus' season, Rich's regular season is 6 total matches. Get to 4 and 2, you make the playoffs.
So it's just like chess.
Yeah, you just got to get to 4 and 2.
Everyone has 2 nights.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, looks like we will get you to game 2 shortly. Man, Andreas totally got away with one there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you try to go off, and sometimes the cards just aren't there.
I mean, like we said before, Cyrus, with the possible exception of chaining his own Necro, 1 free card. I guess it would have turned into 2 free cards because he Yawgmoth's Willed a Time Walk.
Oh, that's true. So he would have seen 2 more cards.
Right. Our players are paused, by the way, while we get the camera set up to watch the second game of their match. Cyrus, if he chained his Necro, he would have seen 2 more cards, but basically just fizzled. I mean, it can happen, and
it does. We talk a lot about determinism here in the Vintage Super League. There are some kills that are deterministic. If you assemble Vault Key and you don't have a stray mana crypt sitting around or anything like that, you have a deterministic kill. On the other hand,
here we go.
Nauseam and suddenly Grid.
Yeah, turn 1
Wow.
defense grid from
Well,
Cyrus Corman-Gill.
Andreas has Turn 1 Library, which is one of the most enjoyable things. If you haven't experienced the
It's
pure
not good
enjoyment of
anymore,
Turn
Rich.
1
We're gonna have
Library.
to give this. Look,
Wait,
I
wait,
love
wait,
a turn
wait,
1 library more
wait. Andreas
almost
just
anyone.
played oh man.
What did he do? He played Mana Crypt
Yeah, he would
without
have
tapping
been
his library for a card?
a draw off the library. I mean, this does get all right. So this gets him Force of Will right away. I can see what he's doing. He gets some Force of Will off.
Oh, he wants the 3 mana to pay for the defense
Yeah,
grid while he Force of
yeah.
Wills. Okay. Keeps up 3, sure.
The problem is,
Second defense grid.
I don't know if that hand can even win if he Force of Wills there.
Well, he kept a no-colored mana hand on the strength
Library.
Crypt, Soul Ring, and Force of Will with the library. Crazy.
I
Now
mean,
he's got the age-old question of, does he Force of Will this? Well, then he's never getting a.
I mean, I would
This
just
is why I don't think library is good anymore. I hate to say it out loud. Look, I'll keep playing it in old school, but I'm not sure it's actually good in vintage anymore. This is what keeps happening. You're like, I want to draw my extra cards, but that means I have to let my opponent's stuff resolve. It's all
it's like the
all
second best
sad.
Arabian land after Bazaar of Baghdad.
Very powerful card, very nostalgic. I feel like it's index out of nostalgia. I'm not actually. Maybe it's a sideboard card for control mirrors.
In all fairness, I might be here because of nostalgia. So who knows? Well, all right. So I like the play here of fetch out a tropical island, play Sylvan Library, play Soul Ring, and pass the turn.
I mean, Andreas knows he can't counter anything, so Cyrus must have a bad hand. I mean, if Cyrus has a good hand, he's just dead. So Andreas just has to play to win the other games. The games were.
So it's Sylvan or Hydra here.
Oh, he Nature's claims the Soul Ring, not the defense grid. That's interesting.
Huh.
He's attacking the mana, which can be an issue for Storm sometimes.
Interesting.
Oh, you're supposed to brainstorm main phase, Cyrus? Is he just waiting for a fetch land? Can't brainstorm on Andreas' turn because of the defense grids.
Right.
I would have main phase brainstorm
maybe
there.
He just wanted to pass. All right.
No, the time is up.
It's Hydra time.
All right. I mean, he did get one card deeper by playing the brainstorm this way, right? You can easily brainstorm lock yourself if you.
Now the Hydra gets bigger. Okay, so that's
he doesn't have a blue mana.
That's interesting. Cyrus can go off next turn.
Next turn.
He has a next turn. Now he probably has a next turn because that's not Monastery Mentor. That's Hydra.
Yeah, it only goes up.
But if Cyrus had brainstormed last turn, this would probably be him winning.
I agree. Well, we'll see how hard. If he's going to win off a Twister, though, if he never needs his life total to sink into Necropotence or Bargain,
right?
Then this one Hydra hit isn't going to cost him.
Andreas can get closer to winning by dealing damage because Cyrus has all these ways of turning life points into cards.
Yeah, Jet. Is he going to get Force of Will mana? He's not, right?
No, he's going to be one short. Unless, actually, you know what I like here is, oh no, he's not going to be able to go down low enough on cards. If he were, he could draw, but he'll have to wait until Cyrus's turn.
Yeah, he can't library while he has 8 cards in his hand.
Yeah.
All right, whack you for 5. Now Cyrus gets a turn. 2 defense grids mean the shields are down.
Mm-hmm. This is Cyrus's game to lose.
Yeah, couple of Dark Rituals, Cabal Rituals. You probably don't bother with the Git Probe.
I don't know. It's free Storm, but maybe he just doesn't want to lose the life.
Right. I think I would preserve the 2 life there. The odds that one Storm matters tiny. And the odds that the top card helps are also pretty small.
He's not using colorless mana. Oh, well, this is going to
Bargain.
He has Bargain. He doesn't need to bother with Necropotence. My understanding, by the way, is that Yawgmoth's Bargain was printed as a fixed Necropotence.
Yes. And then they immediately started hiring Pro Tour players as their development team. Play design team nowadays. But yeah. I feel like that whole Urza's block got me my job at Wizards.
Well, it certainly illustrated that your job was needed at Wizards.
Indeed. All right, he's got mana. He needs to find the Tendril tutor.
Valerian Academy.
Yeah, he's got.
We don't know everything in his hand, but there's no way he can lose at this point, right?
He can lose. He has to find a tutor or a Tendrils. Like, the Ancestrals aren't trivial. He's got an Ancestral, so he's probably got 3 cards there. Okay, he's got a walk. Does he have a sword? Oh, he has not played a land this turn, so the Academy is
Academy can arrive.
Approximately infinite blue mana. Yeah, I mean, it is hard to imagine him losing, but it is not yet. What's the word, Rich?
Deterministic.
It is not yet deterministic.
If he doesn't, it's like a giant advertisement not to play Storm, right?
He's actually got that tapped mana vault is relevant. He went all the way to
no crossed up with bargain, so it's actually not.
Oh, right. Bargain means you don't have to bother with the mana vault, of course.
Right. Mana vault deals damage to you during your draw step, but your old buddy Yawgmoth is not interested in making you die on your draw step because you don't have a draw step.
All right. He Ancestrals. He's got a couple of preordains. He's got a Yawgmoth will to run it all back. He just needs to find Tendrils of Agony or Demonic Tutor or Dark Petition.
Yeah, he even has a bonus. Yeah, Yawgmoth's. Yeah.
I don't think he's found it yet.
I
He's almost a threshold for the Cabal rituals.
That's true.
All right, Ponder.
Well, so he can
plenty.
If this doesn't find it for him, he can time walk, untap, and do it all again.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So this has to be a sign that he's found Tendrils somewhere off screen. He has a lot of cards.
Necessarily. He's got a bunch of mana to spend. There's 23 cards left in his library. There's the Dark Petition. All right. Dark Petition will find Tendrils of Agony. Tendrils of Agony. Got plenty of mana. So 14 copies of Drain You for 2. And Cyrus forces a game 3.
Wow. All right. Well, Cyrus Corman-Gill put on a great demonstration of what goes right when you play Storm that game. That was
after the game 1 where he put on a demonstration of what can go wrong.
Exactly. So we see some ley lines waiting for me.
Yeah, Andreas was asking me in the chat before we got started tonight, how early am I allowed to concede to dredge? If they get like one good dredge in game 1, can I just pack it in?
Well, there are a lot of zombies, in all fairness. I've actually never sat down and calculated the maximum number of zombies that you can generate with dredge. I have 10 zombie tokens in real life. I don't know. I hope I don't need more than that. I have the Christopher Rush unglued ones. I think I like those ones.
Those are nice. All right, players are paused while we get our camera set up for game 3. One game to see who hangs on the first W. Counting W's is pretty important this year. It's in the past, there's always been this mystery around where the cut is going to wind up because it was top 4 or win the final group. This year is much more straightforward.
So what do you need to do to make the playoffs?
First step is don't 0-3 the first week. That's the only thing you can do today that affects your playoff standing is if you 0-3 out.
Really? So if you ATOG it, if you 1-2, you're still in?
Yeah, it's just 3-0 the next one, and you're fine. You get your 4-2. If you 3-0 this one, you haven't clinched anything. You still need one more win.
So you need 4-2 to advance, is what you're saying?
4-2 to advance, yeah.
All right. Well, Andreas's hand is, I don't know. I'd probably keep it. We don't see Cyrus's hand, do we?
Not right now.
All right.
We had to shrink it back down to like opening hand size.
Oh man, look at that! What a hand! He can shove grid, shove necro.
Doesn't he need black mana for that?
Well, yeah. I figure he'll draw it after he plays some of those grids out. But I like the hand. It's a powerful hand.
It has potential, but he drew the island is the problem.
Tendrils is not entirely optimal there.
Definitely not. Yeah, that is the single basic island in the deck. I guess Academy and Library are also lands not capable of casting rituals. Interesting. Do you force a will this defense grid?
I like forcing it. I'd probably force
Yeah,
it pitching
I
the.
think I do too.
I'd probably pitch the misstep since the dig through time is the only thing I have in my life, and the
Whoa, he let it resolve.
probably getting pitched. Wow.
He figures he can pay 3, I think is the theory. But like, are you gonna cast this preordain? What if you don't find mana?
Yeah, now this puts him into such an awkward position, and it limits him at most to 1 counter return. I would have forced it pitching the misstep. Granted, it's always easier to watch games and say, "Well, I, as a smart human being, would have done it." And when you're playing and it's 2:30 in metric time, then it's going to be a different story entirely.
Oh, the Black Lotus.
Oh man,
Windmill Slam Mentor or leave up Force of Will?
I'd shove Mentor.
I think I leave up Force of Will. You can Mentor with Force of Will up next turn.
I guess that's true. All right. I think you've convinced me on that.
It is hard to resist a Monastery Mentor. All right, Cyrus drew his black mana. So here's Cabal Ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is just Necro and hope the defense grid. So leaving up the Force of Will was huge.
It worked.
Yeah, Andreas got away with not countering that first defense grid. Sort of. He's going to wind up with a Force of Will in his hand, and I think he's going to wind up tapping out for Mentor next turn. I'm with you. I still think I would have used the first Force of Will on the defense grid. Although I think I might have pitched Dig Through Time.
I can definitely see the argument for that. So, how many cards? He has 6 cards in his graveyard?
That's number 7. So you can leave up Force of Will and dig if he doesn't make you force with it.
1, 2.
Oh, or he can main phase Dig Through Time before he places Mentor and still leave up Force of Will.
Can he dig through time on Cyrus's turn?
Only by tapping out and not being forced to Force of Will something.
He's just going for the a priori dig through time.
Yeah, he's going to do it main phase where it doesn't cost him 3 extra.
This whole game would be so much easier if he had forced. So I'm seeing a Time Walk, a Spell Pierce, a Misstep, Soul Ring, Trop, Fetch, and 1 card that's too blurry for me to see.
Pierce, Walk, Misstep, and
Top
its
left.
original frame.
It is, and I approve, but I can't read it.
Brainstorm.
Oh, Brainstorm. Very good. Very good.
Well, he's kind of obliged to take a blue card. And the walk is tricky. If he could get this Mentor onto the table, go off.
Mm-hmm.
But he's clearly been doing his best to never ship the turn without the ability to pay 3 mana and cast a Force of Will through defense grid.
I think I like Brainstorm and Time Walk here. Although the Soul Ring, actually, no. No, he has a land in hand that he hasn't played yet, right?
Yeah, he can have up Force of Will by playing the land in his hand, but he can't do anything else. All right, he goes for Spell Pierce and Brainstorm.
Interesting.
Wow.
I would have taken the Time Walk, passed, and then next turn. Ooh, regrid.
Mental walk. Jeez.
Regrids. Still with it, that's 6. So,
I mean, there's kind of. Okay.
I mean, you might as well force your pitching Spell Pierce.
Or you could pitch Brainstorm and have up Spell Pierce through a defense grid.
I guess that's possible. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too aggro with my lines here. Maybe that's why I'm playing Dredge tonight.
I'm with you, though. My hand would be a Mentor to walk right now. Like, you could pass the turn. He could have just taken a Time Walk instead of one of the blue cards to set him up to go Monastery Mentor, Time Walk, attack you, ship with 5 mana untapped.
Right. If he had Time Walk instead, he could have Mentor, Brainstorm into Time Walk. Yeah. And there's a good chance that'll just close out the game. All right. Wow. He lets the second grid happen. So Cyrus has not one but 2 grids, so
But
spell
no
slot
business.
6 more.
Interesting. Cyrus needs to draw what? He can't draw Necropotence because it's in his graveyard.
Right. Well, he needs to draw. I think Black Lotus, right?
Well, Dark Petition. He spells
Actually,
Dark Ritual will
Dark
get.
Ritual.
Wait, what does he petition for though? The Necro's in his yard.
Yeah, right. So 1, 2.
He doesn't have any mana left.
3. Dark Petition makes 3 black if he draws a ritual.
Yeah, for the Yogwill, and then you're tapped out. He has to like sack a land to Chain of Vapor somehow, so
Oh, that's true.
he doesn't have the 1 mana to cast the ritual out of his yard. It's close.
So I actually do. All right, no. So Black Lotus will still do it because he gets the second spell in there.
Oh, Black Lotus does it.
Bouncing his Mox.
Black Lotus does it. I was trying to figure out if Dark Ritual was, and it sort of almost is, but not quite.
I think you're right. I think he's 1 short.
Twister points out that chat points out that Twister would be good. I mean, he's got the defense grids. He needs a card drawing spell.
Right, and Andreas, I can't tell you how many times I've let grids resolve and then I've been stuck staring at these blue cards that look like they should do something and then don't. Ooh, Time Walk. All right. That's fun. It actually makes Dark Ritual lethal. Right? Does it? No, it doesn't.
Polluted Delta makes a future Dark Ritual. Yeah, he's going to chain the Mentor and have the ability to replay a grid if necessary. It seems reasonable.
Yeah, I can see that.
Forces Andreas to tap mana once again.
So next turn, I think any mana source is it's going to be 1 short. He needs 2 more mana to be lethal.
Yeah, Andreas is tempted to leave up 6 mana leave Force of Will with 6 to pay for 2 defense grids. This is why the chain is so good there.
Right.
Cyrus is basically begging Andreas to tap more mana so he can top deck his way into a win.
Right. Andreas does have technically a clock.
Yeah, but I think Andreas has to cast recast the Mentor. He goes for Jace. Is he going to go Fate Seal here?
Fate Seal with a fetch land doesn't seem very exciting.
Oh, that's fair.
I guess he can play them. All right, so maybe he was gambling on getting a mana, and I guess that paid off. So he can shove Mentor. He can ask Cyrus, "Can you kill me next turn?" And if the answer is no, then Andreas probably wins.
Yeah, Mind Sculptor into Mentor is a pretty good turn for not needing to tap mana.
Oh, does he have the 3rd Tundra in his deck?
That's a fair question. No, there's no 3rd Tundra. He cannot fetch white mana.
Wow.
He should not have tapped 2 Tundras, I don't think.
Yeah.
He does have the 3rd Tropical, so he should have tapped Trop.
He should have tapped the Trop. Yeah, gee. So he put back the Mentor. Gosh, that's going to feel bad. All right, let's see what Cyrus can do. I'm probably going to fetch there if I'm Cyrus because...
So he can cast Dark Petition, but what does it get?
Getting Necro doesn't do anything, right?
It's in the yard. You can't get it.
All right, sorry. Right, getting Necro is impossible. Getting Will won't do anything.
He has 0 mana. What are we missing?
He had blue. I don't know. I don't see it, Randy. If he had blue, he could get a Time Twister, but I don't see what he gets. And again, I'm not the really good Storm player, and Cyrus is. I don't see it.
This is for next turn? Nope. Yeah, he couldn't find it either. I think that may have been last chance to cast this before the dude leaves up 6 mana the rest of the game. Let me hope there's something I'm forgetting in my deck.
Well, so what I don't like about that from Cyrus is that it actually means that Andreas knows that he has to leave his mana open. Last turn Andreas chose to tap out. I bet he would not have if Cyrus had. Ooh, all right, there's Nature's Claim. That's big.
I don't know. Cyrus also cracked his fetch lands where Jace Fate Seal could have been a thing. Andreas chose to brainstorm anyway. I mean, Andreas should just have this from here.
I think so. That Nature's Claim is going to do some work.
I guess.
I mean, it's going to kill one of defense grids.
Yeah. Killing one defense grid lets you counter twice.
And Cyrus only gains 3 life. Well,
this will be the turn resolve. I think you let this resolve.
You just think that, I'll probably concede if I let this resolve. So
no, I don't want to pay 3 mana.
Yeah, I know. I think you do let this resolve.
You have 2 counters. There's no card you can take. You have 2 counters. Don't pay 3 mana for this. Right? Every card leaves Andreas with 2 I mean, some of the counters have flavors, right? Flusterstorm, but
sure. Oh, interesting.
You're going to throw 2 cards away? There's a way to only lose 1 card to this.
Maybe he's baiting Cyrus into casting that Yawgmoth's Will, so when Cyrus does, he'll get forced. Because if I'm Cyrus and my duress gets forced, I'm absolutely shoving old Yawgmoth onto the stack.
Oh, he only had 6 untapped. He doesn't have 2 counters, no matter. I'm wrong. I was thinking he had 7 mana, but I forgot he tapped. He can't. He wasn't able to force and the 1 mana counter spell.
Right. But
that makes that better.
2 counters, which is all the more reason to let the duress resolve.
Yeah.
So I think Cyrus absolutely is correct to play Yawgmoth's Will here, and Andreas can, just put it into the graveyard where it belongs.
Yep. Although remember that chain on that Mentor a million years ago?
Mm-hmm.
It means Cyrus still has 21 life to play.
Oh, yeah, this game is not over. I mean, Jace is a clock. He's a great clock. The game's not over. Although...
Managorger or Hydra will end it soon.
Exactly. Managorger Hydra might have something to say about the game being over. That said, Cyrus can draw a Time Twister, and off we go. And it just happens.
Yeah, there's no answer for Twister. Bargain gets pierced, but
right.
Twister would resolve. I guess he's a mana short of Bargain as well. Well, now he's got Yawgmoth's Bargain mana.
Might as well cast it because you can't play the 2 spell pierces anyway. No. I don't think either of those are very exciting at this point. Do you think Sylvan's good here?
It's not awful.
I guess you could... It's not awful. I guess it builds Storm. Gush seems a little better.
Gush is better. Yeah, it's funny. You pay too much life to Sylvan, you could maybe...
Yeah, you could get mini tendrils.
Yeah, I think bottoming it was correct. Window closing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it always behooves Andreas to shove damage at Cyrus because Cyrus trades that life for cards.
So Andreas has a forcible now. The Time Twister top deck is enough. Yeah, I think we're done.
I actually like playing Soul Ring here and then attacking because then you have Force and Spell Pierce open.
These were cool games. Like all 3 games were interesting.
Really were. Yeah.
I'm sure Cyrus will be, I don't know if he's kicking himself for that game 1.
Well, I mean, again, it's so easy to sit here in a comfy chair saying, I would have done this.
Yeah,
but,
it's like, you drew 18 cards, but if you'd played it right, you could have got that 19th. Maybe that would have...
Right. But, I'm sure that I'm going to make mistakes when I'm tapping Bazaar at Baghdad and maybe getting the wrong zombies.
Right, and it's such a small mistake. He should have won anyway.
Right.
Yeah, he definitely got unlucky game 1.
He did, no doubt.
But this game, Andreas just chose to play a line where he let Defense Grid reserve his early Force of Will, left a bunch of mana untapped so that he could just leave himself in. Yeah, okay. Cyrus puts the tendrils on the stack and then concedes the game immediately. Match number 1 goes to Andreas Petersen. Now, that's a man who's hungry too. Team Snap Cardster. Last VSL season was a team season. You can go watch the archives on YouTube. It's pretty good, but careful. I'm about to spoil a little bit of it. Snap Cardster finished 2nd. They were so close to winning it all, and I think Andreas feels like there's business. He wants to get back to that finals again this year, and this is a man who takes his vintage very seriously. You know, he's got giveaways. He's got, he's always there in the daily challenge, in the weekend challenges.
I saw he was just giving away a set of Moto Power, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, no, he's a guy worth following if you care about vintage. And we'll see. I mean, 1 W on the board. Still got a couple more matches to play tonight.
The only
Coming
W.
up next, however, it is going to be Rich Shea against Bob Maher. Our 2 old timers tonight will be throwing down. Dredge versus Pyromancer Control, and we'll have Andreas in the booth with Cyrus. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
CoolStuffInc.com is your home for everything Magic the Gathering. Need singles for constructed or kitchen table play? Looking to pick up some sealed product or the latest in Magic accessories? We've got you covered with our extensive live inventory. With free shipping on orders of $100 or more, a 25% buy list bonus, and our ever-popular customer rewards program, CoolStuffInc.com is the place for all your Magic the Gathering needs.